Take your bird feeders inside and bring your backyard chickens indoors. There's a bird flu outbreak. According to the Department of Agriculture, up to 18 wild birds in Illinois have tested positive, and with poultry, 80 birds have been affected. However, that toll could be much higher when taking into account suspected deaths from the disease. And joining us now with more are Dr. Yvette Johnson-Walker, clinical epidemiologist and lecturer at the University of Illinois College of Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Sarah Reach, the head veterinarian and manager of rehabilitation aid and research at Willowbrook Wildlife Center at the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County. Doctors, welcome. Dr. Reach, first put this in context. How big an outbreak of avian flu is this, and what are the consequences?
Yeah, so on the wildlife side, this is pretty big. The 2014-2015 outbreak was considered to be the worst outbreak of avian flu in the U.S., and there were only about 90-something birds or wild birds testing positive at that time. There are over 800 wild birds testing positive this time. So from a wild bird standpoint, this is pretty large. And species affected heavily are things like bald eagles, which are obviously of pretty high importance, ecological importance to us.
And Dr. Johnson-Walker, what about in the poultry market? How is this affecting poultry?
Well, this has been a large outbreak affecting commercial poultry also. Across the country, 29 states have been impacted, and there have been over 229 detections in backyard and commercial poultry flocks. And so this is a pretty serious outbreak from the commercial sector also. Fortunately, in Illinois, we haven't had any commercial facilities affected. There have been two backyard flocks that were affected. And in addition, there have been also those detections in wild birds in Illinois.
And Dr. Reach, you were mentioning 2014, 2015. What's behind this outbreak this year?
Yeah, so avian influenza is kind of a general term, or bird flu. There are a variety of types of this virus. They're labeled as H and N, so H5N1 is our current virus going around, but they can be numerous, H5N8, H5N2. And unfortunately, this is a high path avian influenza or highly pathogenic avian influenza. There are also low pathogenic avian influenzas. And actually, those low path avian influenzas do circulate naturally in especially the wild bird population here in the United States, and it's constantly being surveillanced for. The challenge is this is a disease that constantly mutates and recirculates and kind of shares those H's and N's around, and it creates new or kind of repositioned viruses. And unfortunately, this is a high path one, and this is basically just spreading like wildfire when it normally wouldn't affect the birds that it does today.
All right, and certainly we've seen viruses over the last 2 years and learned a lot about them and their spread. Dr. Johnson-Walker, might consumers going to the grocery market see the avian flu reflected in prices or availability of poultry?
Well, we'll definitely see some increase in prices, especially in the egg market. It's estimated that about 5% of U.S. layer flocks have been impacted by this outbreak, and so egg prices will definitely be rising. About 9% of the cases we've seen in commercial facilities have been affecting broiler flocks, and so they aren't quite as severely impacted. But turkey flocks are also being affected, and so about 6% of turkey flocks. And so I would anticipate an increase in prices for chicken, eggs, and turkey products in the coming months.
And with respect to eggs, Dr. Johnson-Walker, should consumers be worried if the pathogen can spread in those eggs?
No, definitely not. Poultry products, poultry and eggs are safe for people to consume. The really only impact that consumers are going to see is the increase in price. And this is in part because if the poultry products are cooked appropriately, then there's no chance of being exposed to active virus. And in addition, there's constant surveillance in the commercial poultry industry for avian influenza, and any birds that are clinically ill are not producing products for human consumption. They're going to be removed from the food chain. And so poultry products are still going to be safe, but they just may cost a little more.
All right, that's good to know. And Dr. Reach, we mentioned at the top that the advice here is to take away your bird feeders for a while. So expand on that, the things that regular folks should do and the things that naturalists are looking out for in bird habitats.
Yeah, definitely. So the Illinois Department of Natural Resources really just in the last few days put out somewhat of an official notice. It's not a ban or anything like that, but it is the recommendation to remove any bird feeders or baths. They did come back and say seed feeders and not hummingbird feeders, although you have to consider that even though the birds that are feeding from these feeders, whether they are seed feeders like your finches, your sparrows, things like that, or potentially your hummingbirds, your orioles, any of those different kind of feeders, well, those are not the species that are of high concern when it comes to contracting this disease. They can definitely spread the disease. So the disease is very highly spread bird to bird, but also via fomites, which basically are any materials that can transfer virus particles. So that could be birds themselves, that's their feeders, that can be us on our clothing too. And so if any of those virus particles get on the feeders, whether by a bird flying over and pooping on it or breathing on it or something like that, those birds that are currently migrating through Illinois, millions and millions and millions of birds migrating through Illinois, they can then pass that virus on from one place to another. So the current recommendation is to remove those feeders and baths through the end of May, and that's generally because that's really the tail end of migration for us. And so hopefully things will be settling down at that point. Right. It's also when things are going to start getting much warmer out. And this is a virus that does like cool kind of wet climates. And so the hope is that that will hopefully kind of bring things down as well.
Dr. Johnson-Walker, we only have about 15 seconds here, but I know there's a big debate about free-range chickens and folks that really only want to buy free-range chickens. Should they all be brought indoors?
Well, it's definitely a biosecurity approach that should be considered. That the main thing we want to avoid is having your poultry exposed to free-living wild birds, because as Dr. Reach said, those birds can be harboring and shedding the virus, and so it's an easy route for introduction into your flock. And so it really is recommended that backyard flock owners, commercial flock owners really step up their biosecurity and take the measures that they can to reduce any exposure that their birds may have to wildlife. And one way they can do that is by bringing them indoors under cover.
All right, things that folks can do to stop the spread here. And our thanks to Dr. Yvette Johnson-Walker and Dr. Sarah Reach. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.